we are continuing with the same question. So let me come here. I just realized that in this part, force to overcome friction, I by mistake said it increases, right? it obviously decreases with increasing alpha, right? Decreases with increasing alpha. What was the reason? Do you remember? Physically, can you understand the reason? You see, this is extrusion. The billet is there, the container is there, and there is the die. As extrusion happens, the billet material goes through the die. So when some material goes through the die, some of the length of the original billet is already gone, isn't it? And when more extrusion is done, more material goes through the die, so the length of the billet decreases again. So in the beginning, when extrusion starts, the contact between the billet and the container is on the complete length of the billet. So there's all this contact is there, therefore there is a large amount of friction. After some time, say after 50% extrusion has been done, 50% of the billet length is now gone. So the length of contact, the friction contact length, is now only half the billet length. So of course the friction has gone down. So friction keeps on going down because the length of contact between the billet material and the container keeps on reducing, right? So therefore this keeps on going down, right? So sorry that in the previous slide I said increases with increasing alpha. So now this is there. That this is a constant one. This directly increases. This keeps on decreasing. And when you add all of these, then you get this total. So in this total, of course, initially when you increase the die angle, the extrusion force is decreasing, right? And the lowest is here at some die angle. After that, if you increase the die angle, then it will start to increase again. So there is a value of die angle for which the extrusion force will be minimum. We know that we want to reduce the extrusion force. If extrusion force or extrusion pressure is reduced, then the force required from the press is low, the load and the force on the die and the tooling is low, the life of my machine will be longer, the energy required will be lower, right? So there is a die angle where the total extrusion force is at a minimum. This is called the optimum die angle. So of course I am explaining this to you a lot. You only write briefly, but you write what is the graph, you write what is A, B, C, D, you write why it is constant, why it is decreasing, you write why it is increasing, decreasing, you mention optimum die angle. Now you have explained this graph in complete detail. So I asked you, don't write long stories, be very short, but do not miss anything important. Okay? Let's now go to the second part of question 2, which will be, of course, the numerical part. So the L-shaped structure, section shown, all dimensions in millimeters, is direct extruded from an aluminium 6061 T6 billet. Material is given of length 250 millimeter. This length is not here. This is the length of the billet. The billet is a round cylinder, right? And diameter 88. So the billet length is 250, the billet dia is 88. Die angle is 90 degrees, which is the standard die. Die angle is 90 degrees, so automatically the material goes through a 45-degree change. Okay. Determine the extrusion ratio, the length of the extruded section, if the butt remaining in the container at the end of the ram stroke is 25 millimeter. Right. So first of all, the dimension of the section is shown. This is 62, and this is 12. So if you remove this, then this is 12 by 50. Yes, this is 12 by 50 because 62 minus 12, and this is also 12 by 50. So whenever you want to find the cross-sectional area of the extrudate, then it is 12 into 50 plus 12 into 50. Right? That is the cross-sectional area, the final one. The original cross-sectional area is this pi d square by 4, right? So you know those things. So again, as I said, I have started to explain it. you should have stopped and started solving it again, solve it completely, then come back, right? Then come back. So when you are listening to me, then you know. So now the definition of extrusion ratio. Extrusion ratio is initial area upon final area. Initial area is the billet area, pi by 4 d square, billet area, and final area is this. So find the initial area, find the final area, take its ratio, that is extrusion ratio. This you need to understand. But remaining in the container, you see, we have explained to you, if you listen to the video carefully, the billet is loaded into the container. The press comes, presses this billet through the die and keeps on pressing, but does not completely push the billet outside through the die. When a very small portion, maybe say 10% of the billet is remaining, a shear machine comes and removes this a small butt piece, because material is being pressed and pressed and pressed. So material is storing a lot of extra stresses. So this material is not very good quality material, the last 10% of the material, right? So this is cut away and a new billet comes, and then that full billet goes and about 10% is again cut away. So that small portion which is cut away is known as the butt, So that butt length is 25 millimeter. The total length is 250, but 25 millimeter is not extruded, it is removed. So the actual length that is extruded is 250 minus 25, right? This is it. So this is the question, and then you can find out whatever is remaining, right? Length of the extruded section, if the butt remaining in the container at the end of the ram stroke is 25 millimeter. But this is not directly 250 minus 25. I will just show you how to do it and so forth. So now this is again the question, extrusion ratio, and this is it. Now I am taking this from a solution manual, right? I am deliberately doing it. I do not do that normally. Normally I know the solution, I just type the solution myself, or it is my handwritten solution. But this time I am taking it deliberately from the solution manual. Why? In our lecture notes, in all our formulas, we give capital R as the extrusion ratio, capital R. In the solution manual, it is written as a small r or Rx. So if you in your solution are writing a small r or Rx for extrusion ratio, you are not following your formula sheet, you are not following your lecture notes, you are not following your video lectures. Naudzubillah, you have signed the honor statement, but you are looking into the formula sheet, into the solution manual, right? So that is why I said that this is the end of the semester. I want to feel very happy that all my students have really studied and they will pass out as a very good, knowledgeable person about manufacturing processes. But when you write a small r rather than capital R, then it is very obvious, right? So, but the rest is okay. Find original area, which is pi by 4 d square, find final area, which is this, and then take the ratio. So this extrusion ratio comes out to be 5.068, but this should be capital R in your book and in your notes, not the solution manual thing. Second part, total original volume, right? This is the billet, pi by 4 d square multiplied by the length 250, right? So this is 1 by 4.25, pi by 4 d square into 250, total original volume. You find the total original volume. Okay, now the final volume consists of the butt and the actual extruded part. They are calling butt volume V1, right? They are calling this is total, and V1 in this solution manual, V1 is the butt volume. The butt, remember, is only 25 millimeters. So the cross sectional area is the same, pi by 4 d square, but the length is 25. So this will come out to be this. Once again, in your solution, if you are not mentioning but, the word but anywhere, but volume, remaining volume, the volume which was cut, and you are directly using V1 is equal to so much, then now the billah, it is a copy from a solution manual. It is not your original solution, right? So this just saddens your teacher, your father, right? But this is the but. Extrudate the cross-sectional area. The cross-sectional area is this one, right? Final, because you see, original billet was here, the butt was part of the billet that was cut off. So for the butt, the area was this, pi by 4 d square, but the material that has been extruded, that final area is this one. So the cross-sectional area, 12 into 50 plus 12 into 50, right? So that is 1200, right? And they are calling this extruded volume as V2. So it is some length into this cross-sectional area, right? Some length into this cross-sectional area. Okay. Now the original volume, total volume is this one. The butt volume is this one. So the remaining volume is this minus this. So this is the remaining volume which was extruded. This is the volume of the material that was extruded, and this volume is the final cross-sectional area into the length. So this is the length that you needed to find out, right? This is the length that you needed to find out. So divide this is the volume, divide this by the cross-sectional area, and you will get this volume, right? So again, the extrusion ratio was very simple. The second part needed a little reasoning, and if you had done it yourself, you will say this is the total volume that was extruded, this is the final volume that was extruded, this is the part that was extruded, and the butt means that part of the billet which was cut away in the end. So this was not extruded. So total volume minus not extruded volume is the extruded volume, and the extruded volume is the length into final cross-sectional area. So this is your solution, right? So this now completely solves all of your quiz 4, right? Question 1, question 2A, question 2B.